Good morning. Alright, so today is section 25, verses 1 through 8. Got my little wheel, my favorite thing. Alright, so this section was given July 1830. It was in Harmony, Pennsylvania. It was for Emma Smith. And the prominent doctrine or theme is that the duties of an elect lady, and also to choose selection of hymns. So the whole second half of the podcast is about Emma Smith and what she went through, her life, blah blah blah. I don't think I want to go into it. Anyways, this revelation was given, or this, I'm going to call it a revelation, was given during the month following her baptism. And there was a lot of persecution. It took a while for her to be confirmed. Her husband was arrested twice. So, she's suffering almost as much as Joseph and Oliver in way of persecution. And so it's just, Emma is counseled not to murmur and is designated as an elect lady. Now, a lot of the supplemental, both Ludlow and the companion, talk a lot about the roles of husband and wife. And it says one purpose of mortality is in the bringing together of a man and woman as eternal husband and wife in a partnership. Emma was instructed in the role of a wife, and the instruction given her can be applied to all women. Anyways, and one of the things, the main themes of this section, which I found interesting, they focus okay, this is not what I found interesting, but I'm going to say it. They focus a lot on the definition of elect. It says, thou art an elect lady. And it talks about it a lot in here, and it talks a lot about it in the Ludlow, about what elect really means. And elect just means chosen. It doesn't mean special or superior. It just means chosen. Like an elected official. She's just been chosen. Okay, so moving on from that, what I found interesting was that one of the main themes in this section is that the practice of emphasizing one's own separate identity apart from the identity of one's spouse is a step away from the goal of becoming one in the covenant of marriage. And I think we can see that a lot in strong married couples, is that they have their separate hobbies, but they don't have their separate identity. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Like Malia and Brent, they're a good example of working together and being one in their identity. How they raise their kids, how they spend their time, how they spend their money, how they work together to run the household, and that sort of thing. If Malia was off trying to get her separate identity, I would see problems. If Brent was off trying to get his separate identity, I would foresee problems. It says here that the goal of a covenant marriage is that they have one identity as a married couple, man and wife together, not Malia and Brent, but Malia and Brent. Makes sense? I thought it was interesting. Okay. So that's that one. Now, Ludlow. He has some things, mainly talking about an elect lady. President Nelson said, I don't know if it was the last conference or the one before that, but every woman can read this section and apply it to themselves. And so, anyways, in verse 1 it says, those who receive my gospel are sons and daughters in my kingdom. So right here he's setting up that man is not superior to woman. They are equal sons and daughters in the kingdom, which I think was very unique to the church at that time, that they were an equal partnership, that it wasn't husband over wife. And then elect lady, talked about that. Murmur not because of the things which thou hast not seen. You know, she was kind of like, why can't I see the plates? I'm a scribe. Why can't I see them? It's for a wise purpose, Emma. Moving on. Okay, in verse 7 it says, thou shalt be ordained and expound the scriptures. Now, they go into a lot of explanation, Joseph Fielding Smith does, about the term ordained. In the early days of the church, they used the word ordained or ordain when someone was called to a special duty. So the words have changed over time and we use them differently now, but in the early church, ordained kind of meant the same thing as set apart. Now we say that someone is set apart. Back then they said ordained. So it's not to say that John Taylor says that some people have felt that this meant that Emma and her counselors were ordained to the priesthood, and they were not. It was just a term for set apart. And I wanna say that that's all that I had. Oh, in verse 5 it talks about being a comfort to your husband. Where was it? It was here. It was here. Where was it? Well, I must have lost it. But anyways, Joseph Fielding Smith said, you know, any man, Emma's supposed to be a comfort to her husband, and any man who has had trying times knows what a comfort it is to have a consoling wife. And that's not to say that women don't have trying times and husbands can't be comforts to their wives. That's just saying that that's Emma's special role, and we can apply that to ourselves. I mean, in the previous section it says, Joseph, be patient in your afflictions, for you shall have many. If you take a look at his life, you can understand why the Lord is saying, Emma, be a comfort to your husband. Okay? That's your job. That's your role. Help him along. Be a helpmeet. And, you know, did I say the whole quote from Joseph Fielding Smith? Any man who has trials knows what a comfort it is to have a consoling wife. I think in Dad's final days, or leading up to that, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. Mom was a comfort to him, I'm sure, without a doubt. It's scary to face those kinds of trials. I mean, you can only imagine how scared Joseph was. You can imagine how scared Dad was, and how comforting it was to have his family by his side. All right. That is section 25, verses 1 through 8. And then tomorrow is 9 through 16. Tomorrow is Saturday. What? Where did the week go? All right. Talk to you later.